Hello people, welcome back to another video game haul. So last time I had 360 games that I bought. This time we have PS4 video games. And most of these games are either games I have on digital that I just wanted a physical copy of, and some of them are games I've actually never played before. So with that being said, if you like what I'm doing here, make sure you subscribe, also hit the like button, and also comment, let me know if you want to see more video game hauls. But anywho, let's get into the haul. So the first game that I did pick up is Destroy All Humans. So this is one of the games that I have originally played on the PS2 back in the day, and this is one of the games that I really love, mainly because for how wacky and weird. I love the nostalgia of the 1950s, 60s kind of. This game takes all that paranoia from that kind of era, and I just love it. It's such a fun time. Yes, it does get repetitive on some missions, but for the most part, you're not going to even notice it, and you're just going to have a fun time because the characters are super wacky. Crypto is such a weird but lovable character. It's so strange. It's hard to explain. Destroy All Humans. Go get it. The next couple games that I did buy, so these are two games that I've never played before, and frankly, I don't know why I haven't, because they're just so weird and wacky. You can do so much things with it. But those games are the Hitman series. So we have Hitman 1 and 2. I don't have Hitman 3 yet for the PS5, but I probably will shortly. But these games, there's so many possibilities of how you can go about each level, and each level is so unique that it just makes going back and replaying those levels so much fun. I am thinking about going back and doing a video series on the Hitman franchise, so if you want to see that, let me know in the comments. Like I said, it's Hitman. You can't really go wrong with that. They're fun, interesting games. Another game that I picked up was Psychonauts. So if you don't remember this, it was a PS2 game back in the day. So Limited Run did a release on this, and I just had to pick it up. I didn't pick it up when it actually released. I picked it up a lot later, which I probably spent a little bit more on it than I should have, because the price of that game has gone up. But it is kind of that psycho trip thriller of a game. So you go into other people's and characters' minds, and you kind of navigate your way through the world that way. And it is such a fun, unique game too. I know I'm saying a lot of these games are very unique, but yes, it is a fun time. If you've ever been a fan of Double Fine games, you're going to be a fan of this game. I highly suggest picking it up. You can buy it for like $10-15 on the PS Store. Otherwise, you could buy a physical copy like I did for much more than that. It is another game that I think most people should play. So as we're going through my childhood, might as well pick up SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. It was an original like GameCube game, PS2 game, kind of that era of gaming. It's that platformer collectathon kind of game. With the updated visuals, it does help this game immensely, but some of the game characters, they couldn't get the original voice actors to voice them again, and it is kind of upsetting because Mr. Krabs does not sound like Mr. Krabs at all, which is a sad thing, because we all love Mr. Krabs. But if you're not into like a collectathon game, this probably isn't the game for you. But if you love SpongeBob, you're gonna love this game too. It's made by THQ Nordic, so you know you can kind of depend on it being a decent quality game. So the next couple games that I picked up were the South Park Stick of Truth and the Fractured But Whole. I do have both of those games on digital, but it was nice to have on a physical copy. I really do enjoy physical copies more and more as I'm aging, because I just like having them on my wall and on my game shelf. Just be like, hey, look at these games. But also just, it's so much cooler to have them in your hands. But, you know, that's just me. But these are kind of two South Park RPG games made by Ubisoft, and they're really fun. I didn't think a game could fully capture, almost to perfection, the show of South Park, but these games do. They're super funny. They're such a fun time to go through. They're both still written by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, so they're the creators of South Park, making these games, and it really shows. You don't lose any of that humor from the show to the games. This is like a continuation of the show, and they are fantastic because they parody pop culture references with The Lord of the Rings and obviously Marvel and The Fractured. But overall, these are two fantastic games, and again, like I've said for most of these, I highly recommend other people to play these. Now, these three next games, I've never actually played before. These are, which I kind of missed the boat on it, because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I finally bought them. So it's the Dishonored franchise. So we got Dishonored Definitive Edition, then we have 2 and Death of an Outsider. I've heard that the first Dishonored is better than the second one, but the second one has some really cool mechanics with both characters, and I'm really looking forward to see that. And they were pretty cheap on Amazon right now. Like, both of them, you could probably, like, all three of those, I think I paid $10 for each, which for brand new games, that's a steal. With all three of the Dishonored games, they kind of have that BioShock feel to it with the powers and upgrades that you do get. And they're a little bit more stealthy, kind of like the Thief games, kind of back in the day, which is a really interesting concept, and I really do enjoy those. With the Dishonored games, you can go with a no-kill run, or you can go just killing everybody you see. And sometimes you can kill characters before you're meant to, and that can totally change the story, which is really fun that the developers added something like that to the games. The developers of this game is Arcane and Bethesda, so you kind of know the quality that you are getting from these games. Arcane is fantastic. They've made the rebooted Prey, and then Bethesda as a publisher, you know how they are. Recently they've been kind of shit, but for the most part, they're usually pretty good. But anywho, that was my PS4 game pickup. If you've played any of those games, let me know what you think about them, because some of those games I've never played before, and it would be interesting to get other people's thoughts on them. But if you want to see more game hauls or other video game videos, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on a video. But also, thanks for watching.